worked with Tony vicariously for a couple of decades now through grant programs that I was involved with, and I've got to say Tony is probably one of the most knowledgeable, committed, and generous people I've ever come across. You know, he has always worked to better the world, and the work he's done on the Big Scrub is second to none. So you know, I was really chuffed to hear that he agreed to give our talk at this AGM, and you know, it's always so nice. Even though I haven't spoken to Tony for a few years, it's always just nice to know he's there, and the work he's doing is continuing on. So I'd like to pass over to Tein to give the more formal introduction.
Thanks very much, Peter. Yeah, well, prior to introducing our guest speaker, Dr. Tony Parkes, as Peter said, I'd like to provide some background information that you'll gain this from watching the upcoming AABR video on Heroes of Big Scrub Recovery. So we hope to have this ready in March. Now, what is the Big Scrub? And she says that asking the slides to progress and they're not progressing. Right. Okay, well, it's Big Scrub was once a 75,000 hectare swathe of subtropical rainforest, the largest in the Southern Hemisphere. And it was reduced within decades to less than 1% of its former range, leaving less than 80 small isolated remnants, as you can see from that image on the right. So it was cleared pretty rapidly by early settlers to create dairy farms needed by the emerging colony of New South Wales and the nation. So this was all in the late 19th century and the start of the 20th century. So the actual story of restoration didn't start until the 1930s. As AABR's video shows, local dairy farmer Ambrose Crawford, believing that some of the rainforest should be safe for posterity, he led a team of friends to undertake a regular working bee in the tiny remnant at Lumley Park, Alstonville. Now, the work involved both planting and weeding. They probably wouldn't have called it regeneration in those days, but yes, they would have had expansion from the remnant as a result of their weeding, and they also planted a number of species, not all, of course, local. But it wasn't until the new settlers in the 70s in the Northern Rivers area and the rainforest logging protests that there was really any broad-scale effort to tackle the challenge of restoring the Big Scrub. So this kind of emerged due to the social change that happened in the 70s in the region and in the state, where there was a growing awareness throughout the world, really, of conservation. And Hugh and Ann Nicholson were very important in that story and have been ever since. Dylan Pugh has also been very important in the conservation movement. So since that time, there have been many heroic actors in what became a vital process of developing expertise in restoration. So conservation and restoration go hand in hand, but expertise was developed in both planting and regeneration. So planting out new rainforests and facilitating regeneration of regrowth. And very often these two approaches were combined, and one of the first, as you'll see in the AABR film, first examples is at Victoria Park, where as a result of rainforest ceasing, actually, national parks acquired rainforest reserves and included them in the park's estate. So Victoria Park was one of the first examples. It was a remnant of Big Scrub, and Alex Floyd was seconded to parks from forestry because he was a guru of rainforest in the state and became, you know, a teacher of so many people. He was among the first to trial the use of planting early colonisers around a remnant to facilitate the expansion of the remnant through natural regeneration processes. So it was harnessing the natural process of seed being spread by birds to these new perches. So he pretty well brought that idea to the Northern Rivers, as far as I understand, and he was, oh, there he is in the forest. What a wonderful man. And he was supported by the National Park staff at the time. Sandy Gilmore in particular was supporting that project. So many practitioners were involved in both planting and regeneration. Others contributed substantially to developing knowledge in these areas. And Rob Koyman is an example of one who has been persisting with good advice about planting rainforests from scratch to ensure that, you know, the mature phase species are well represented, as they are not in the recovering landscape at the moment. Mark Dumphy, a very important nurseryman and regenerator and planter, has been very active. And Hank Bauer has brought a great deal of knowledge and attention to retaining faunal habitat. Sue Bauer has also been very active in the area. Ralph Woodham in particular, as we'll see in the Arbor video, developed best practice methodologies for releasing rainforest regrowth on a cleared dairy farm at Rocky Creek. He found no need for planting where weeds such as lantana and particularly camphor laurel were actually already providing the bird attractants and perches in the vicinity of seed sources. So that was a big eye-opener for everyone, and he achieved some terrific outcomes. Many other practitioners, the bush regen teams, oops, sorry, I'll go back, because Stuart and Julian have been a fantastic, have played great roles in rainforest regeneration. We recently lost Julian, sadly. Jen Ford's also been a driving force. And look, here's a bunch of fantastic people, obviously, at a meeting, I think at Jeff Scott's. It looks like, I don't know where it is actually, but yeah, Mark and crew, John Nagel. I mean, all these people have worked really, really hard across the decades. You know, in the Tweed and so on the coastal rainforest areas as well. Now, of course, the other heroes are the landholders themselves, and Big Scrub Landcare runs annual rainforest days, and it's the landholders who actually are some of the biggest heroes, dedicating portions of their land for restoration across the landscape. So indeed, both planting and regeneration feature in the work of Big Scrub Landcare. The Landcare group, whose contractors and members have worked to regenerate 44 remnants and plant out 600 hectares of new rainforest. And Big Scrub Landcare are now driving an innovative program to ensure that all their plantings use genetically diverse planting stock to overcome what appears to be potential and actual risk of inbreeding because of the unsuitability of the source of the planting stock. And the purpose of this project, as Tony will explain, is to build greater adaptability to climate change and to ensure persistence of the rainforest over the centuries. So Tony himself, Dr. Tony Parks, is a retired organic chemist and merchant banker. He's turned rainforest regenerator extraordinaire, and he is founder and president of Big Scrub Landcare. So I'll now hand over to Tony to speak to you about their innovative science-saving rainforest project.